Captain Tae-ho Kim stood tall as he looked out the large window of the spaceship Defiance. Earth looked small from here, a blue marble floating in the blackness of space. His ship was the pride of the Earth fleet, built with the best human technology. But today it felt very small. "Captain, there's something coming," said Lieutenant Ji-won at her control station. Her voice was steady, but Tae-ho could hear the worry in it. "Many ships just appeared at the edge of our solar system." Tae-ho walked over to look at her screen. The dots on it were growing in number. 10 ships, 20, 50, 100. They kept coming. "How many?" he asked. "Over 200 now, sir. And they're big, much bigger than anything we have." Tae-ho took a deep breath. This was what they had feared. The Galactic Empire had come. Humans had only been traveling in space for about 50 years. They had built colonies on Mars, the Moon, and even a few planets around nearby stars. It was a big achievement for humanity. Then, 10 years ago, they met the aliens. Not just one kind, but many kinds, all part of something called the Galactic Empire. This empire had been around for thousands of years. It had 17 different alien species in it, and they controlled most of the Milky Way galaxy. At first, humans were excited to meet aliens, but soon they learned that the empire was not friendly. They wanted Earth and all human colonies to join them, not as equals, but as servants. They would take Earth's resources and tell humans what they could and couldn't do. Humans would have to pay them and follow their rules. "Send a message to Earth Command," Tae-ho ordered. "Tell them the Empire fleet has arrived." The crew of the Defiance moved quickly, but nobody panicked. They had trained for this. Tae-ho was proud of them. "Captain, the alien ships are sending us a message," said Ji-won. "Put it on the main screen," said Tae-ho. The screen lit up with the image of a creature that looked nothing like a human. It had a hard shell like an insect, with big eyes made up of thousands of tiny parts. When it spoke, its mouth parts clicked together. "I am High Admiral Zorax of the Galactic Empire," the alien said. Its voice was translated by a computer, but still sounded harsh and unnatural. "You will meet with me on your space station to discuss your surrender." Tae-ho kept his face calm. "This is Captain Kim of the Earth Alliance. We have already given our answer to your empire. We will not surrender." The alien's mouth parts clicked rapidly. "Your species is young and foolish. The Empire has ruled this galaxy for 10,000 years. Your few ships and colonies cannot stand against us." "We wish to live in peace," Tae-ho said. "But we will not give up our freedom." "Then you will be destroyed," said Admiral Zorax. "You have one Earth day to change your mind." The screen went dark. Tae-ho turned to his communications officer. "Get me a secure line to Ambassador Lee." A few minutes later, Ambassador Do-hyun Lee's face appeared on a smaller screen. He looked tired. For months, he had tried to talk with the Empire to find a peaceful solution. But the Empire did not want peace, they wanted control. "So they've come," Ambassador Lee said. "We knew they would eventually." "Yes," said Tae-ho. "They want us to surrender." "The council voted yesterday," Lee said. "They won't change their mind. War is coming." Tae-ho nodded. "Then we need to be ready. Is Project Phantom ready?" Lee looked around, as if checking if anyone could hear. "Dr. Song says it's ready. But using it, Tae-ho, it's a big step. There's no going back." "I understand," Tae-ho said. "But if the Empire attacks, we may have no choice." After the call ended, Tae-ho went to a small room off the bridge. There, Chief Scientist Minji Song was working on a computer. She looked up when he entered. "Captain," she said, "I hear the Empire has arrived." "Yes," said Tae-ho. "And they're threatening war." Minji nodded. "I'm not surprised. From what we've learned about them, the Empire doesn't like competition, and humans have been growing too fast for their liking." It was true. Humans had gone from 1 planet to 15 in just 50 years. The Empire had taken centuries to do the same when they first started. They saw humans as a threat. "Is Phantom ready?" Tae-ho asked. Minji looked at her work. "Yes, I've been running final tests. It will work." 3 years ago, Minji had been working on a way for humans to talk across great distances instantly, using something called quantum entanglement. But when the Empire's threats began, her work changed. Now, Project Phantom was humanity's last hope if war came. "I never wanted to build a weapon," Minji said quietly. "But the Empire, they've destroyed other species before. Species that said no to them." Teho put a hand on her shoulder. "I know. None of us wanted this." His communication device beeped. "Captain, we're getting reports," said Jiwan's voice. "Empire ships are moving into position around all human colonies. They're surrounding us." Teho and Minji shared a look. "It's happening," he said. Back on the bridge, Teho saw the Empire ships spreading out around Earth and its defenses. More reports came in from human colonies on Mars, Europa, and distant stars. Empire ships were everywhere, far more than humans could fight. "Captain, incoming message from President Han," said the communications officer. President Jiwoo Han's face appeared on screen. She looked serious but calm. "Captain Kim," she said, "the United Earth Council has met in emergency session. We've voted to activate the Phantom Protocol if the Empire attacks." Teho nodded. "I understand, Madam President." "We cannot win a direct war," she continued. "The Empire has too many ships, too many soldiers, but we will not surrender our freedom." "Yes, ma'am," said Teho. As the screen went dark, Teho turned to look out at the stars again. Out there, among those distant points of light, human colonies were preparing for war. A war they couldn't win by fighting in the usual way. "Captain," said Jiwan, her voice urgent. "Empire ships are powering up weapons." Teho took a deep breath. The time had come. "Send the alert to all human ships and colonies," he ordered. "And tell Dr. Song to prepare Project Phantom." As the crew rushed to follow his orders, Teho watched the Empire ships. They were massive, built by species that had been traveling in space for thousands of years. But humans had one thing the UA Empire didn't expect. They had a button that could change everything, and soon they would have to press it. Dr. Minji Song's hands moved quickly over her computer. Alarms rang throughout the ship. Red lights flashed on the walls. The Empire ships were getting ready to attack, and there wasn't much time. "How long until Phantom is ready?" Captain Teho asked, standing behind her. 5 minutes, Minji said. She didn't look up from her work. "I need to connect all the quantum parts. If I make one mistake, it won't work." Teho nodded and left her to work. He went back to the bridge where his crew waited for orders. On the main screen, he could see the Empire ships moving closer. Their weapons were glowing with energy, ready to fire. "Empire ships are targeting our defenses around Earth," Lieutenant Jiwan reported. "They're also surrounding our colonies on Mars and Europa." "What about our ships?" Teho asked. "Our fleet is in position, but—" Jiwan paused. "Captain, we have 20 ships. They have over 500 in this area alone." Teho knew the odds. Humanity had built good ships, but they were too few and too small. The Empire had been building ships for thousands of years. Their technology was better. Their weapons were stronger. If they fought a normal battle, humans would lose quickly. That's why they needed Project Phantom. Down in her lab, Minji worked, faster than she ever had before. Her assistant, Hyan, helped her connect the special quantum device to the ship's main computer. "Are we really going to do this?" Hyan asked quietly. "We don't know exactly what will happen." "We have no choice," Minji said. "The Empire will destroy us if we don't." Minji had been working on quantum science for most of her life. She had discovered that particles could be connected across space. If you changed one particle, its connected particle would change too, no matter how far away it was. At first, she wanted to use this for talking across space. But then humans met the Empire and everything changed. 3 years ago, Minji found something strange. All the alien species in the Empire had something different in their basic building blocks, in their atoms. It was tiny, something no one had noticed before. But it was there, and it made them different from humans in a special way. Final connections complete, Hyon said. The quantum network is ready. Minji looked at the screen. It showed a web of connected points spreading out from Earth to all the human colonies. Each point was a quantum device like the one on their ship. All of them connected through space in ways that normal science couldn't explain. Start the power-up sequence, she ordered. On the bridge, the ship shook as something hit it. They're firing on us, Jiwan shouted. Shields at 80%. Another blast hit the ship, harder this time. Shields at 65%, someone reported. We can't take many more hits like that. Taeho opened a channel to all human ships. Hold your positions. Do not fire back unless directly hit. We only need to buy a few more minutes. Captain, said the communications officer, we're getting reports from Mars colony. They're under heavy attack. Taeho clenched his fists. People were dying while they waited. But starting a full battle now would only make things worse. Message from President Han, the officer said. President Jiwoo-han's face appeared on screen again. Behind her, Taeho could see people running around in what looked like an underground bunker. Captain Kim, she said, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. The council has made its final decision. You are authorized to activate Project Phantom immediately. Yes, Madam President, Taeho replied. Dr. Song is preparing it now. Good, said President Han. The Empire has begun attacking civilian targets. We have no more time for talk. She paused, then added, May we forgive ourselves for what we must do today. The screen went dark as another blast hit the ship. Shields at 40%, Jiwan reported. Captain, we need to do something. Get me Dr. Song, Taeho ordered. Minji's face appeared on a small screen. We're ready, Captain, she said. The quantum network is online. All devices are connected and synchronized. Are you sure this will work? Taeho asked. The science is sound, Minji said. But no one has ever done anything like this before. There is risk. Taeho nodded. What kind of risk? If I'm wrong about how the quantum effect works, it might do nothing. Or, Minji hesitated. It might affect humans too. The ship shook again with another hit. We don't have a choice, Taeho said. The president has given authorization. Activate Phantom. In her lab, Minji took a deep breath. What they were about to do had never been done before. It might save humanity, or it might make things worse. But the Empire had left them no choice. Activating final sequence, she said. On her computer screen, a simple button appeared. It was labeled Activate. Here goes everything, Minji whispered. She pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. The ship continued to shake as Empire weapons hit it. Alarms still rang. Minji wondered if she had failed. Then her instruments began to show strange readings. The quantum field was expanding faster than light, spreading out from Earth in all directions. On the bridge, Captain Taeho was giving orders when Lieutenant Jiwon suddenly pointed at the screen. Captain, look. On the main screen they could see one of the Empire ships. It was still there, still firing. But then something strange happened. The weapons fire stopped, the lights on the ship flickered. What's happening? Taeho asked. I don't know, Jiwon said. She checked her instruments. The ship is still there, but we're not detecting any life signs on board. Taeho stared at the screen. None at all? None, sir. It's like they all just disappeared. More reports started coming in from other human ships. The same thing was happening everywhere. Empire ships were still in space, but no one was on them. All the aliens were gone. Taeho quickly opened a channel to Minji's lab. Dr. Song, what's happening? Minji looked as surprised as he felt. It's working exactly as the theory predicted. The quantum field is pushing all Empire species slightly out of phase with our reality. What does that mean? Taeho asked. It means they're not in our universe anymore, Minji explained. They still exist, but in a parallel space very close to ours. They can't see us, can't touch us, can't hurt us anymore. And this is happening everywhere? Taeho asked. To all Empire aliens. Yes, Minji said. The quantum field is spreading through the entire galaxy. Anywhere there are Empire species, they will phase out of our reality. Taiho sat down heavily in his captain's chair. We just made an entire galactic empire disappear. Not disappear, Minji corrected. They still exist, just somewhere else. Somewhere they can't hurt us. More reports came in from Mars, from Europa, from all human colonies. The pattern was the same everywhere. Empire ships were now empty, floating in space. Not a single alien remained. Humanity had won the war by pressing a single button. But as Captain Taiho looked at the empty enemy ships on his screen, he wondered what the cost of this victory would be. 3 days had passed since Minji pressed the button. 3 days since every alien in the Galactic Empire had disappeared from our reality. The human fleet now moved among the empty Empire ships, exploring them carefully. Captain Taiho floated through the empty halls of the largest Empire ship. It had been Admiral Zorax's command ship. Now it was just an empty shell. His flashlight beam showed strange alien writing on the walls and odd-shaped doors made for beings very different from humans. "This ship is huge," said Jiwon, who floated beside him. "It could hold thousands of aliens, and now it holds none," Taiho said quietly. Their radios crackled. "Captain, this is Dr. Song. Can you hear me?" "Yes, Doctor. What have you found?" "You should come to the main control room," Minji said. "There's something you need to see." Taiho and Jiwon followed the markers they had placed earlier until they reached a large round room with many control panels. Minji was there with Hyun, looking at strange screens with alien symbols. "We've figured out how to access their computer system," Minji said. Hyun found a way to translate their language. "What have you learned?" Taiho asked. Minji pointed to one of the screens. "This is a map of the galaxy. The red areas show Empire territory. Almost the entire map was red. And this," she pointed to a tiny blue spot, "is human space. We're so small compared to them," Jiwon said. "Yes," Minji agreed. "But there's more." She touched some controls, and the screen changed. "These are their plans for Earth and all human colonies." Taiho read the translated text and felt cold. The Empire had not planned to just defeat humans. They had planned to remove them completely. Their weapons would have destroyed all human cities. Special ships would have changed Earth's air to make it impossible for humans to breathe. They would have taken all resources from Earth and human colonies, leaving nothing behind. "They've done this before," Jan said, showing another screen. "Look at these records. 27 other species across the galaxy all wiped out because they refused to join the Empire." Taiho felt sick. The Empire had been destroying other intelligent life for thousands of years. Anyone who said no to them was removed. "We had no choice," Minji said, seeing Taiho's face. "They would have destroyed us all." Back on the Defiance, Taiho called a meeting with his officers. Reports were coming in from all human ships and colonies. The pattern was the same everywhere. All Empire aliens had vanished, leaving their ships, stations, and worlds empty. "What's happening on their planet?" Taiho asked. "We've sent scout ships to the nearest Empire worlds," said Navigation Officer Junho. "They report all cities and buildings are intact, but no aliens remain. Just like their ships, everything is empty." Communications Officer Kangman added, "We're picking up automatic distress signals from many Empire worlds. Computer systems are still running, asking for help, but no one is there to receive the messages." "What about their leadership?" Taiho asked. "The Galactic Council? Gone like all the rest," Minji said. "The quantum field has spread throughout the galaxy now. Every Empire being has been pushed out of our phase of reality." Lieutenant Jiwon looked troubled. "So an entire galactic civilization just disappeared because we pressed a button?" "They still exist," Minji reminded her. "Just not here. They're in a parallel reality, very close to ours but impossible to reach. Think of it like they're on a different channel, and we changed the station." "Can we bring them back?" asked Medical Officer Somi. Everyone looked at Minji. She hesitated before answering. "Theoretically, yes. I could reverse the quantum field, but what? Teho asked. If we bring them back, they'll still want to destroy us, Minji said. Nothing will have changed except they'll be even angrier. The room was quiet as everyone thought about this. They had won the war, but at what cost? An entire galactic civilization was gone, trillions of beings removed from reality. We need to report all this to Earth Command, Teho finally said. This is bigger than any decision we can make. 2 weeks later, Captain Teho stood in a large meeting room in the United Earth Council building. Leaders from Earth and all human colonies had gathered to discuss what had happened and what to do next. President Jiwoo Han called the meeting to order. We are faced with a situation no one could have predicted, she said. In defending ourselves, we have removed an entire galactic civilization from our reality. Now we must decide what comes next. Dr. Minji Song presented her findings from the Empire ships. She showed the plans the Empire had made to destroy humanity. She explained how the quantum button had worked and how the aliens still existed in a parallel phase of reality. Can they find a way back? Asked one of the colony leaders. I don't think so, Minji said. The physics in their phase is different. They don't have the right kind of matter to build a device that could bring them back. So what do we do now? Asked another leader. The Empire controlled most of the galaxy. Their planets, their resources, their technology. It's all just sitting there, empty. That was the big question. What should humans do now? They had gone from fighting for survival to having an entire galaxy open to them, all in the press of a button. Some leaders wanted to move slowly, carefully exploring the empty Empire worlds. Others wanted to quickly claim the best planets and resources before any other alien species, if there were any, could take them. We should focus on helping the planets where the Empire kept slaves, said Captain Teho. There are species out there who suffered under Empire rule. They might still be in our reality if they weren't part of the Empire's 17 species. Research teams had discovered records of at least 30 species that the Empire used as workers or servants. These beings were not considered part of the Empire officially, so they might still exist. Captain Kim is right, said President Han. Our first duty should be to help any species that the Empire was hurting. We can show them that humans are not like the Empire. The Council voted to send exploration ships to all known planets in the galaxy. They would look for any intelligent life that remained and offer help. They would study Empire technology and learn from it, and they would build a new kind of galactic community, one based on respect and cooperation, not conquest. As the meeting ended, Teho found Minji looking out a window at the city below. Are you okay? He asked. Minji sighed. I keep thinking about what we did. All those beings, just gone. You saved humanity, Teho said. The Empire would have destroyed us all. I know, Minji said, but I can't help wondering if there was another way. She turned to face him. And I'm worried, Teho. The quantum field is stable now, but nothing lasts forever. Someday it might weaken. And if it does? Teho asked. Then the Empire might find a way back, Minji said. And they will not be happy with what we did to them. Teho looked out at the city, where people went about their lives, safe for now from the Empire's threat. Then we better make good use of the time we have. We need to build something better than what the Empire created, something worth protecting. Minji nodded. A galaxy where no one needs to press buttons like the one I made. Together they watched the sun set over a Earth that was safe, for now. But in the back of their minds, they both knew that somewhere, in another phase of reality, the Empire was looking for a way back. 6 months had passed since the day humanity pressed the button. 6 months since the Galactic Empire vanished from reality. The galaxy had changed completely in that short time. Admiral Teho Kim, no longer just a captain, stood on the bridge of the Unity, Earth's newest and largest ship. It had been built using knowledge learned from studying Empire technology. The Unity was now leading a fleet of human ships through space, visiting worlds that once belonged to the Empire. Admiral, we're approaching the Centauri system, said Commander Jiwan Park, who now served as his second-in-command. Scans show 5 planets that once had Empire cities on them. Thank you, Commander, Taeho said. Prepare a landing team for the 3rd planet. Reports say it might have survivors from a non-Empire species. In the months since the vanishing, humans had discovered that not all intelligent life in the galaxy had disappeared. The Empire had ruled over many worlds where they kept servant species, beings they thought were too primitive or weak to be true members of the Empire. These species had not vanished when Minji pressed the button, because they were not part of the 17 official Empire species. Many of these beings were now free for the first time in generations. Some were confused or scared. Others were happy but didn't know how to run their own worlds after centuries of Empire control. Earth had created the Galactic Restoration Project to help these species. Human ships visited their worlds offering food, medicine, technology, and training. They helped the former servants learn to govern themselves and build their own futures. Not all humans agreed with this approach. Some wanted to take control of the empty Empire worlds for themselves. They argued that humanity had earned the right to everything the Empire left behind. But President Han and the Earth Council had been firm. Humans would not become the new Empire. Tai-Ho led the landing, team down to the surface of the 3rd planet. They found a world with blue grass and purple trees, very different from Earth. The buildings were clearly made for the Empire species, with strange shapes and sizes. But living among these buildings were the Nari, small beings with 4 arms and skin like tree bark. "Welcome, humans," said their leader Kef. "We have heard of your people. You are the ones who made the Masters vanish." "Yes," Taeho said simply. There was no point denying it. Kef made a sound like rustling leaves, their way of showing happiness. "Then we thank you. For 500 years my people served the Masters. We were not allowed to learn, to build, to travel among stars. We were tools to them, nothing more." The Nari welcomed the humans with a feast of strange but delicious foods. They showed Tai-Ho's team their artwork and music, created in secret over centuries, because the Empire had forbidden it. Now they could practice their culture openly. "We want to help your people," Tai-Ho told Kef. "We can teach you about the technology the Empire left behind. We can help you build your own ships, if you wish." "Why would you do this?" Kef asked. "The Masters always took, they never gave." "Because we are not the Masters," Tai-Ho said, "and we don't want to be." Back on the Unity, Tai-Ho received a call from Earth. Dr. Minji Song's face appeared on the screen. She now led the Science Council, studying Empire technology and the quantum field that had changed the galaxy. "How are things on your end?" Tai-Ho asked. "Busy," Minji said. She looked tired but excited. "We've learned so much from the Empire's data. Their medical science was amazing. We've already found cures for 3 human diseases. And their energy technology could solve Earth's power needs for centuries." "Any problems with the quantum field?" Tai-Ho asked. This was always his first concern. Minji's smile faded. "It's stable for now, but I've detected some fluctuations." "What does that mean?" "I'm not sure yet," Minji admitted. "It could be nothing, or it could mean the field is slowly weakening. And if it weakens enough, then the barrier between our reality and theirs becomes thinner," Minji said. "I don't think they could come back completely, but they might find ways to reach through, somehow." This was Tai-Ho's greatest fear, that someday the Empire would find a way back, and they would not have forgotten what humans did to them. "I've started a new project," Minji continued. "We're building quantum sensors across all human worlds and colonies. If the field weakens anywhere, we'll know." "Good," Tai-Ho said. "Keep me updated." 1 year after the vanishing, representatives from Earth and all human colonies gathered on the new space station Hope. They were joined by leaders from 28 non-Empire species that humans had helped in the past year. Together they signed the Galactic Cooperation Treaty. President Jiwoo Han addressed the gathering. "Today marks a new beginning for our galaxy. For too long the Empire ruled through fear and control. They saw difference as weakness and independence as threat. Today we choose a different path." The treaty created a council where all species would have an equal voice. It banned the conquest of other worlds and the destruction of intelligent species. It promised cooperation in science, medicine, trade, and defense. "We do not know what the future holds," President Han said. "But whatever comes, we will face it together." After the ceremony, Taeho found Minji looking out a window at the stars. "Quite a view," he said, standing beside her. "Yes," she agreed. "A whole galaxy, open to us now. It's almost too much to believe." "Do you regret it?" Taeho asked. "Pressing the button?" Minji thought for a moment. "I regret that it was necessary. I regret that the Empire gave us no choice. But no, I don't regret saving humanity." She turned to him. "We found records of what they did to other species who defied them. They would have destroyed us completely. And now we're helping those they left behind," Taeho said. "Building something better." "I hope so," Minji said, "but I'm still worried." "About the field weakening?" "Yes," she said. "The latest readings show the fluctuations are growing. It's happening very slowly, but it's definitely happening. In 10 years, maybe 20, the field will be weak enough that something might come through. Then we have 10 years to prepare," Taeho said, "to build our defenses, to strengthen our alliance with the other species, and to find a better solution than just pressing buttons," Minji added. As they looked out at the stars, neither spoke the thought that was in both their minds. Somewhere out there, in another phase of reality, trillions of Empire beings were surely looking for a way back. And when they found it, they would remember the humans who had pressed a button and made them vanish. But for now, the galaxy was at peace. The Empire's empty cities were being filled with life again. Species that had been servants were now equals. Ships that had been weapons were now used for exploration and trade. Humanity had saved itself by pressing a button. Now they had to prove they deserved that second chance. "We'll be ready," Taeho said quietly. "Whatever comes next, we'll be ready." Minji nodded. "Yes, and this time we won't be facing it alone." Together they watched the stars, where countless worlds waited. A galaxy of possibilities, all because of one button, pressed in humanity's darkest hour, the button that had ended one empire and perhaps begun something better.